southeastern region of, I don't even know. Okay. Then they have Aba states from the southeast eastern region of Nigeria. This is from the present Abia. Then they have another one in the south, they call it Niger Delta. Ogoja state from the present Cross River. Warri state from the present Delta. Bori state from the present Rivers. Obolo state from the present Rivers and Akwa Ibom. Southwest Yoruba land. Toru Ebe states from the present Delta, Edo and Ondo. Ibadan state from the present Oyo. Lagun state from the present Lagos. Lagun, okay. Ijebu state from the present Ogun. Lagun state from the present Lagos state and Ogun. So that's like combination of both. You see the repetition there, right? Then we've already had Ibadan state. Why did they put Ibadan twice? Okay. So Okeogun and Ife Ijesha states. Is that even a name to say Okeogun and Ife Ijesha states? That's another two, right? From the present day Ogun, Oyo and Oshun. So, according to one of them, the reasons why these new states will resolve the differences of Nigerians and bring development to these mentioned regions out of the present 36 states to now take the states to 67 or 70 states in Nigeria. Listen to this, his explanation, one of them.
My background, well rooted in the civil society and where I came from before I joined the parliament, it is very easy to criticize some of these issues. And what is the essence of governance? Governance is about the welfare of the people. So if Nigerians have concluded that state creation will lead to governance getting to the last citizen of this country, then it is not about the boys in quote. It should be about the people, because democracy is about the people. So if state creation, if we all mean it, and we are, as parliamentarians, and I've seen the buy-in of parliamentarians, my colleagues, their commitment, their level of patriotism that many of them have exhibited. Because you see, there's something very different about this constitutional amendment that we're embarking on today. At committee levels, I've seen, members of the committee speaking for other regions of the country. I'm from Benue State. When the issue of state creation was raised in the committee, it will shock you that members of parliament from other parts of the region were the people who were advocating for the creation of state for my people. A good example, like I mentioned earlier, is the way that the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, has been able to present the Southeast agitation. And you saw what happened recently with the creation of the Southeast Development Commission. You don't come to the central table with a mindset, entitlement mentality. You lobby people, you make your case, you discuss with people, you share your pains, your worries with the people. So people buy into your worries. Why do we need a state? We need to reach a larger number of persons in our community, develop our communities to do better for the people, engage more people. So governance or democracy is not about the boys. And secondly, I do not subscribe to the group of people who believe that what the military did in a democracy, we cannot do it. It should be that what the military was able to achieve, democracy should be able to better that.
All right.
We have engineered reforms in INEC, in the banking sector, telecommunication sector, built better infrastructure than the era of the military. So is it not now in a democracy where the people now have the right to speak, to say what they want, that we should be able to amend the constitution and bet to ourselves a better nation? My background.
The viability of this state is what ordinarily, right, should be the priority of those who claim to be lawmakers. There's one thing that these mofos have not been able to do. And what is that? Abdulsalami Abubakar drafted a Decree 24, a military decree that they called 1999 Constitution. And these guys have been doctoring, editing, doctoring it, but they have not been bold enough to actually propose a genuine, democratic people's constitution for Nigeria. They've not been able to, because they must not tamper with it. Yeah, this shameless idiot. That constitution that you are amending, that is the real problem of Nigeria to start with. But these shameless lot are not bold enough, okay, to bin it. Put that trashy thing in the bin. And then write the real constitution of the people, which would in fact define your citizenship, your participation as, in fact, it should be the one to define if we indeed want to kind of remain together, under what conditions. You get? But they are not capable of doing that. Tinubu and then the Ronukus for the mention, they will remember or hate Obasanjo for withholding the local government allocation for 20 months during the time that Tinubu was the governor and Oban Paro was the president. Why was that? Tinubu created 37 local government areas because his excuse at the time was that to spread development into Lagos, they needed more local governments than 20 local governments. But constitutionally, he can't do that because the robbing Peter to pay Paul system that they put in place in that place means only 774 local government areas are recognized by their fake constitution. And therefore, these 774 local government areas are those that will be paid. So it is unprecedented. And if anybody want to create a local government, you must first change the constitution so that that constitution can recognize your new local government areas and then get paid. So Tinubu went ahead at the time to create these 37 local governments, and he later changed them to LCDA, like development areas, not local government areas, and said they will be sharing the allocations meant for 20 local government areas among these 57. These 37 LCDAs and 20 local government areas. So Obasanjo disagreed. So he withheld the allocation. Tinubu today is the president. Just like the fraud of this pro-democracy nonsense that these guys have been pushing, right? It's the fraud. They are undemocratic elements. These are a bunch of opportunists, by the way. Tinubu and his gang, they are yet 9 years after talking about restructuring, and then they took over power. Up to this moment, they couldn't restructure the contraption. Now, similarly, the same Tinubu that maintained his hold on Lagos because he was able to tell the people that without the federal government allocation, they survived. And he was the only person who could do that. Do you understand? That propaganda worked well on them in Lagos. And he actually made some of them to detest Obasanjo till tomorrow for ordinarily withholding the allocation of local government allocation of the states. Now, there is nowhere right now that these mofos are proposing to probably write a new constitution or even amend the current one that will then allow at least the creation of local government areas as he fought for it at the time. Because the intention is, it's just kind of like just grab power. That's all that matters to them. So these clowns thinks the military created states. Civilians should be able to create their own states. When 70% of these states are not viable, many of them are still owing their workers. Corruption on the side, yeah? So now, from 36 governors, they are proposing to have 70 governors, 70 deputy governors. Because even though it's not going to happen, though, I know it's not going to happen, but they are wasting not only just their time, the resources on this. They are wasting a chunk of time. So if they have anything at all, in my own proposal, it will be for them to first trash this fake constitution, right? And after trashing it, they let people propose and say, okay, we want to be part of this contraption, and this will be the conditions, including this is how we want elections to be conducted, and who is to conduct the election, and what are the consequences of anybody that compromises your elections. Because without credible election, you don't have any country. I hope you understand that, Sha. Without credible election, you do not have any country. It simply means that whoever has the control to manipulate the compromised system will continue to produce your leaders from the local government level to state level and to federal, including your presidents. It might be like asking them to sign their own suicide or something, like just political suicide, right? But without it, it's just lies after lies. It's just going in circles. It's just like a rat race, which is what it is anyway. Well, let's see. Maybe they will give them, they will create another 30. How many states now? I think they are planning to create, it's more than 31. Probably like about 34. So 34 plus 36. Then you have 70. So maybe they can also create an extra 200 local government areas at least. So that can take your local government areas to 974, or maybe 1,000 local government areas. A serious scrupulous element. Talking about Tinubu. In Lagos, the new Lagos speaker, Miranda Mujisola, and our fellow Agbero lawmakers there, right? They have now passed a vote of confidence on Tinubu. I know it is like to massage the ego of Tinubu, so to say. In their sitting yesterday, they had this following chart on the state of Nigeria. They said that Tinubu is building a foundation for tomorrow, a better tomorrow. I don't understand.
Personal explanation, Honorable Tobun.
Thank you so very much, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. Yes, I brought before you this morning a personal explanation that has to do with the situation going on in the country. I want my people to recall that when this government took over almost 2 years ago, the economic situation in the country was a bit tight and people were complaining. But we told them that they should exhibit some restraint with the present government with a view they have visions. They have mission, and they are pursuing the agenda with all seriousness it takes and it deserves. Today, we are happy that the economic policy of the present government is yielding fruit, and we are seeing the stability in the country.
On what premises is democracy based? I think it's based on fairness, equity, and justice. It is based on your ability to be ready to correct whatever mistakes, based on your ability to listen to whatever your followers are saying. And that is the attribute we have in our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Little wonder while we all are reeling out achievement of his government. But let me also join my colleagues to mention some of the things that I think he has done based on equity, fairness, and justice. Today, you can see that we have development commission all over the country. All the 6 geopolitical zones have their development commission. What is that meant to attend to? Attend to our individual problem. Attend to the individual problem that is particular to to every region that makes up this country.
Behind and beside every successful man, there is a woman. I must commend the First Lady of the Federation, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for backing up the presidency, for her efforts, her contribution, her philanthropic gestures here and there. And I must commend her passion, especially in the homegrown farming. This simply tells us that we must grow what we eat and eat what we grow, and be less dependent on importation. The shift must be from consumption to production. I must commend her for this one, and I want to encourage her to do more because I know she has the capacity and the character to do this.
Madam Speaker, I've heard our colleagues reel out the amazing things he has done, from cutting the debt service from 97% to 68%, clearing of the 7 billion forex exchange, the oil production increased from 1.6 to 1.61 million barrels per day, the competition in terms of the Dangote refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, marginal oil fields, and so many more. Madam Speaker, I'm happy today because I'm a product of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I can tell you categorically well that the 40 members of this House are also product of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And without Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who had piloted the state of Lagos State in the last 20 years, none of us will be seated here today.
Colleagues, this is also to join my colleagues to appreciate our president, the father to the nation, my father, and to thank him for where we are today. And we know that, personally, I know that it will take us to the promised land. When it started, it was a bit rough, but with the things we see now, it shows that tomorrow is definitely going to be better.
Nuisance lele.
They are very good in the art of psychophancy. You have to give that to them. You know, you have to give that to them. Like, give it to them. Tinubu has cleared $7 billion forex backlog. He has reduced the debt repayment to 68%. Yeah, all this nonsense are not true. But they will repeat them. Do you understand? Oh, like Dangote refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, Warri refinery. All these things are not true. But they will keep repeating them. The more they repeat them, and everywhere you turn, right, you get so tired to the point that you begin to believe them. Meanwhile, factually, they are not true. They are not. Because ordinarily, right, there are some certain things that commonsensically, like common sense, if they are true, you will feel it. Port Harcourt refinery is working. And yet they are still importing over 2.8 billion liters of petroleum from Malta and other places. Same people who are supposed to be refining in Port Harcourt and Warri, they are also the same people